Hello, I'm Ashley Strohmeyer, news anchor at KMIZ, the ABC affiliate in Columbia, Missouri. On August 21st, 2017, the United States got a front row seat to a celestial event that had not been witnessed in nearly 40 years. Eclipse 2017 was visible throughout North America, with the path of totality stretching from Oregon to South Carolina. Our parent company, News Press and Gazette Broadcasting, operates 4 television stations along that path and shared the experience live with the members of our local audiences. In this special broadcast, we're taking you inside the minutes leading up to, during, and after a total solar eclipse as it stretched into darkness across the United States. This is Eclipse 2017.
Idaho, Missouri, South Carolina. Live from the path of totality, you're watching coast-to-coast coverage of Eclipse 2017.
The skies over Oregon just beginning to show the signs of the celestial event that will consume most of North America over the next few hours. Welcome to our special coverage of Eclipse 2017. I'm Joey Parker.
And I'm Ashley Strohmeyer. We are reporting live from downtown Columbia this morning. In Columbia, Missouri, that is. We're on TV and streaming online at eclipselivestream.com with live coast-to-coast coverage. Now, we do have reporters and cameras at viewing parties
everywhere
across the path of totality. So we've got Madras, Oregon, we've got Idaho Falls, Idaho, Casper, Wyoming, here in Missouri Cruiser in St. Joseph, Columbia, and of course the capital city, Jefferson City. And on the coast, we're in Greenville, South Carolina, tracking the entire path of totality.
And you know, Ashley, a lot of this is just about anticipation. That's why we're on the air hours before we actually hit totality here. Eclipse 2017 is expected to be the most shared event since the advent of social media. You know, the last time there was anything similar to this back in 1979, well, there was no, the internet was not used like it is now.
Like it is now.
Exactly.
And then as far as it's the biggest story of the day in each of the cities that we're experiencing, the point of the sun, when it's, the point when the sun is totally obscured by the moon. That's
totality.
And we get to see that right here.
That's right.
So for some parts of the United States, it's been nearly 200 years, as Joey, well, if you've watched us at all in the past year, you'll know this is the first time in nearly 200 years since the last total solar eclipse and the last total eclipse to pass over the U.S. happened 40 years ago.
And that was kind of a mess. It was in the northwestern part of the country, only a part of it. There was some bad weather. So that was back February 26th, 1979. I don't know if you remember this, but one of my stories I did, we have Walter Cronkite on the news that night, on CBS News that night, saying, the next time this will happen will be the year 2017. And it's so weird to hear him say that, and here we are now.
Yeah, I can't. Here we are, and it's extremely hot. Not to mention that we're up on the roof just sweating to death today.
Right. Well, we're also teaming up with stations all across the country for today's coverage of Eclipse 2017.
Yeah, our sister station, KTVZ, is at Jefferson County Fairgrounds in Madras, Oregon. That's about 120 miles southeast of Portland. Now, right now, the 2017 Oregon Solar Fest is underway. That is a 3-day music and art festival that started last week. Madras is going to reach full totality around 10:19 Pacific time.
Right.
So we're going to check in with KTVZ Chief Meteorologist Bob Shaw and reporter Samantha O'Connor to see how things are going in Central Oregon.
Hey, gang.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Samantha O'Connor with News Channel 21.
And I am Bob Shaw. We are live this morning out at Jefferson County Fairgrounds right here in Central Oregon.
Yes, we are. It's been a lot of excitement, a lot of build-up. We've been waiting for this for quite some time, and
the
finally
park
here.
manager out here says she has never seen anything like this here in Madras.
Which is pretty crazy.
It is pretty crazy.
She's seen a lot of things, and this is the busiest. And it definitely has been busy all over Central Oregon. It's one of the best viewing locations in the state, in the United States.
We are center line for the path of totality, and it's going to be almost an ideal day. Highs today will be in the low to mid 90s, but skies are going to be clear, and right about eclipse time, 70 degrees.
Oh, it's just perfect. And some clear skies as well, so it's just going to be pretty perfect all around.
Just ideal, you bet.
Well, have a great day and enjoy the solar eclipse.
All right. Well, thousands are gathered around. Also in Idaho Falls for Eclipse 2017. KIFI Local News 8 is reporting the Museum of Idaho. That's where they are. And that's about 90 minutes west of Jackson, Wyoming. Jackson Hole, of course, is a huge recreational place for folks to go. It's one of the wealthiest counties in the nation. And this is right next door. In fact, a lot of the people that work there live over in Idaho Falls
You know
and
a lot
past
about
the Tetons.
Yeah, exactly. No, that's expected to. What they're getting it at 11:33.
They're getting it, and that's what we're going to do is we're going to go to the museum where they're hosting a watching event along with commentary from NASA. Now, that's expected to happen, as you said, right around 11:33. Just
Mountain
goes to show
time.
you how fast it's going. Oh, exactly.
I know. I feel like this is just going to swing right through. There it is, and it's gone.
Right. All right. KIFI Carol Honus gives a look into what East Idaho is experiencing.
Hello, everyone. I'm Carol Honus. I'm reporting for KIFI Local News 8 in Idaho Falls, Idaho. We are in the path of totality. We're going to get to see a major celestial event today. It's busy here. I'm in front of the Museum of Idaho in Idaho Falls. And if you just pan a little bit to your left, you will see all the live trucks that have come from neighboring states to also enjoy our beautiful path of totality. It's going to be a busy day here at the museum. Now, one of the things that was very special about Idaho Falls is NASA picked our location. They believed that we would have the best chance of having sunny skies, so we'd have a perfect view. And interestingly enough, we were predicting some cloudy skies last week. Checking in right now with our chief meteorologist, Mr. Michael Coates. Mike, looks gorgeous.
Yeah, things are looking great here in Idaho Falls, and we have a perfect sky, just a few high-level clouds, but the forecast is absolutely picture perfect for the eclipse. We couldn't have asked for a better day.
And it's such a relief to him, let me tell you. So we will be joining you throughout the day when the eclipse hits Idaho Falls. We want you to watch it with us. Looking forward to that. In the meantime, enjoy your morning, because here in Idaho Falls, we got a perfect day.
And right next door to that is, of course, in Wyoming. The Wyoming Eclipse Festival is underway, and this is in Casper, right in the heart of Wyoming. Very much like Columbia and Jefferson City is the heart, or the heart of Missouri.
Right, and KRDO news crews are at the Casper Events Center for the festival that started several days ago. It's about 280 miles north of Denver, Colorado. Right. Now we're going to head out to KRDO reporter Mike Everett for what's going on out there.
I'm Mike Everett in Casper, Wyoming, where the scene is absolutely electric this morning, and conditions perfect for an eclipse today. You can see over my shoulder the skies are completely and totally blue. There is a little bit of haze over the town. There are some active wildfires this morning, but nothing that we expect to obstruct that view. 11:42 this morning. The sun will be exactly there, and we are completely in the path of totality. That means for over 2 minutes, we will be in total darkness, expecting temperatures to drop anywhere between 7 and 15 degrees when that happens. Over this shoulder over here, we've got the media circus setting up with media outlets from all over the world, and already seeing lots and lots of people setting up some very powerful telescopes and cameras in advance of today's event.
And then in St. Joseph, Missouri, KNPN news crews are stationed at Rosecrans Memorial Airport.
Yeah.
That's about 55 miles north of Kansas City.
And they were talking about some of the major telescopes. We have a bunch of them back here. They even have automatic trackers. We'll get to talk about that in a few minutes. But St. Joseph is almost right in the middle of the path of totality, which will happen at 1:06 their time. And it is a little more than, well, 2 minutes, 30 seconds. So they're getting almost as much as we are.
So KMIZ crews, as we've been covering this for a long time, they're stationed across mid-Missouri. The Show Me Totality Festival at Cosmo Park in Columbia started yesterday. It's about 30 minutes north of the state capitol in Jefferson City. We're going to head out to Lindsey Burning at Cosmo Park right now.
And you know, a lot of folks are going out to Cosmo Park to be able to view it. I know in Jefferson City, they're putting on an event with the big screens, Total Eclipse of the Park is what they're calling it there.
Cool.
That was pretty cool. And also at Gans Recreation Area. And I just want to tell you guys, I have lost my contact with the station right now, so I can't hear them at the moment, so take the lead.
So picking up on that a little bit, amateur astronomers are also heading into Gans Creek, like you were saying, in South Columbia this afternoon. We will be checking in with those crews live across the city and across mid-Missouri throughout our coverage. You can also check out everything as far as this event on social media. Facebook, we've got a live stream of this online at abc17news.com. We'll be in Jefferson City as well. But we're going to go ahead and push forward a little bit. The path of totality will end on the East Coast as it crosses into South Carolina before traveling over the Atlantic Ocean. WSPA has crews at the Roper Mountain Science Center and Observatory in Greenville, South Carolina. That is 220 miles northwest of Charleston.
It is, and like other festivities and festivals and events all around the country, they've been doing this. They've been doing the total solar eclipse discussion for months now. NASA has also made it with the Science Center for an official viewing site of today's solar eclipse, just like the Science Center in Jefferson City.
Okay, and then as far as the weather's concerned, we're also going to have all of that coming up for you as well. So it's a hot one here.
It's hot, but it looks good right now. I mean, we have a good clear path of the sun, so we can hope that that will hold out.
And we're going to toss it into South Carolina. Dan Bixford.
I'm in Clemson, South Carolina at Clemson University, where everybody's getting geared up for the great eclipse. Big crowd is gathering. We're still ahead of the scene in terms of when the eclipse starts. The weather couldn't be better so far. As far as the sky is concerned, we've seen a lot of sunshine, just a few high clouds. There's some concern here. We may see a few clouds try to roll in, but hopefully nothing that's going to block the sight when we end up in totality, which here in Eastern time is going to be about 2:38 or so in the afternoon. And it's not just the eclipse people are gathered here for. Scientists from Clemson University and elsewhere are gathered to tell the gathering people what is going on, how long things are going to last, and what to expect. On top of that, we also have a balloon launch team from the University of Maine. They will be sending weather balloons 110,000 feet up, not only with a little camera to watch the eclipse itself, but they're also carrying up little metallic cards, one of which will have dried bacteria on it. What does that have to do with an eclipse? Nothing. This is part of a NASA experiment to bring that bacteria up to a point in the atmosphere where it mimics Martian conditions. They want to see what would happen to Earth bacteria if given the Mars environment. Very interesting, all coming together because of this eclipse happening here today. Big crowd gathering. Everybody's looking forward to it. It's going to be one of those once-in-a-lifetime events for a lot of people. Reporting from Clemson University, I'm meteorologist Dan Bickford.
And of course, we're going to have more on this coming up with Sharon Ray, our very own meteorologist.
Chief meteorologist, that's right. And you know, it's so important. The eclipse has been planned for thousands of years, so nothing's going to go wrong there. If we did have something go wrong there, we'd have much bigger problems to worry about. But the one thing that can complicate it, weather and a bunch of clouds.
And of course, Sharon Ray is going to have that for you coming up.
Keep watching for more live coverage of Eclipse 2017. Live from the path of totality, you're watching Eclipse 2017.
And we are monitoring the weather here in mid-Missouri and all across the country for eclipse enthusiasts who really want to see this thing.
And of course, ABC 17 Storm Track Chief Meteorologist Sharon Ray has been tracking coast to coast. And Sharon, it is really hot here.
Yeah, I heard you guys mentioning that, and I looked at some of the temperatures, and we are currently already up to 88 degrees. The heat index right now at 97 degrees. So with those temperatures, they're going to continue to rise as the eclipse starts, and then they'll start to drop. So do plan on some hot, humid weather as you're out there this afternoon. There is a look at the forecast, and you can see those temperatures close to 89 as the eclipse begins, and that heat index at 98 degrees. That drops down, though, as we get into mid-eclipse, closer to 115, 77 degrees and 86 for the heat index. But again, that goes right back up again once we start to see some sun. The thing is, we'll have more cloud cover in the afternoon. Cloud cover, oh yeah, we are going to see some of that, but fortunately, at the beginning of the eclipse, we are seeing a mostly clear sky in Columbia, just some high, thin clouds. This is the latest satellite and radar image. But the concern here is the rain out to the west. You can see how it's building. This cloud shield right here looks like it's going to travel to the northeast and gradually work its way eastward in the next 3 hours. And with that, we could see a some cloud cover as we head into total eclipse time. Here's the newest future track, and you can see just that. This is 11:15, and as I put this into motion, those clouds continue to thicken. This is 2 in the afternoon. So I am a little concerned that, especially from totality on, especially in our western counties and near Columbia, we will see more cloud cover. It'll be a partial cloudy sky. Farther to the south in East Jefferson City, you'll have fewer clouds, but those too will thicken up past about 1, 2 in the afternoon. Now, as far as during the totality, I do expect partly cloudy conditions, and we will see part of that eclipse. I'll have more coming up.
Okay, you know, one of the things we were talking about, all these massive telescopes that are out here, they have these tracking devices on there. And, you know, one of our production assistants, Noah Frick Aloth, he is, his uncle is really into this, and they're tracking it as well.
They literally just study it. We're going to go out to Valgerman for more on this.
Everyone, I'm here at the home of Val Gurman. He's on the board of directors of the Central Missouri Astronomical Association. Val, thanks for having us at your home today and letting us check out your telescopes.
Great to be here. Thanks for having me today.
So what does Eclipse Day mean to you, and how long have you been preparing for it?
Our group has been looking forward to this day for about 30 years, and 20 years ago we actually had t-shirts made for this. So we have been looking for this day for a long time. I've been acquiring equipment probably for about 10 years for it, off and on, and it is a tremendous day for astronomers everywhere. And the telescope we're using for the eclipse has been chosen to give the right field of view, and that means it shows the sun itself, plus, during the total phase, the sun's corona. So starting about 11:45, the moon will begin to cover the sun, and then about 1:12, the eclipse will go total, and we hope to show the sun's atmosphere, which is very beautiful, and then the partial phases going out where the moon releases the sun. And the whole event lasts about 3 hours.
All right, well, some exciting stuff we're expecting today.
Very much so.
All right, well, again, thanks for having us here. We look forward to seeing what comes for the eclipse. We'll send it back now to you guys in the studio.
Live from the path of totality, you're watching Eclipse 2017.
Everyone, welcome back. I'm here live in Columbia, Missouri on the rooftop at the Broadway Hotel. We're going to go quickly out to Jay Hillebrand at KIFI in Idaho Falls for more of this Eclipse 2017 coverage.
It's going to be getting darker, 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 then lighter, lighter, lighter.
Yeah. I invited award-winning local photographer Dennis Hammond to come to share some tips on photographing the eclipse. Tip number 1, decide just what your photography goals are.
Someone want to photograph the environment, someone want to photograph the people and the interactions, and then someone just photograph the eclipse.
Whichever of those you want to photograph, tip number 2 is be prepared.
Getting fresh batteries for their cameras and their devices, having fresh memory cards and empty memory cards because they're going to shoot a lot.
Tip number 3 is having the proper equipment. Just as you need Eclipse glasses to protect your eyes, you need Eclipse filters for your cameras or cell phones, or else
It's going to burn out their sensors of their cameras and even their cell phones if it's prolonged exposure.
the filters can range from the $250 glass filters like Hammond uses to filters mounted on boxes to stick over the camera lens like we'll be using on our video cameras, to holding Eclipse glasses in front of your cell phone lens. Just like with your eyes, these special filters will be needed except for the short span during eclipse totality.
Also needed a tripod for a steady shot. These can range from the professional ones like we use to smaller ones like this that you can hook your cell phone onto.
If you do use a cell phone, the telephoto attachments will work far better than just zooming in on your screen. Tip number 4, practice in advance.
Go out and practice a couple of nights before with the full moon. Practice with the full moon, get the exposure with the size of the moon and things are about the same size, and practice with it, and you're focusing.
And tip number 5, don't bother. Consider not even bothering to take pictures. Just rely on the millions of others who will take pictures.
The total eclipse is going to last like 2.5 minutes, so I'd rather see people enjoy it than trying to fumble around and not knowing what to do unless they've practiced a lot with their equipment.
All right.
You have something with MoDOT.
Right. We just in the last few minutes learned that traffic is still moving well according to MoDOT, but volume has increased, especially on I-70. Be cautious. Use extra caution, of course, and that's something that MoDOT wanted us to pass on.
You know, also, there's been people that I've been talking to coming west to east on 70, kind of in the Odessa area. Apparently, it's bumper to bumper, backed up traffic. So nothing's going westbound. It's all going eastbound, to be expected. So for more on the social media aspect of everything going on, we're going to head into ABC 17's Alyssa Toomey, who's joining us live in the ABC 17 studio right now. Alyssa, what do you have for us?
Hey guys, so we are having a little bit of technical difficulties right now on the computers because of all the people that are here and all the people that are coming in. So I've got some stuff that I want to show you, but you're going to have to hang tight for just a minute. I'm going to talk a little bit about where we're going to be seeing the eclipse in all of the different areas. So right now we are at 11:25 in Columbia, Missouri right now, and the eclipse in Lincoln, Oregon here, that actually began at 11:05 our time. So that is when it started all the way over in Lincoln. And then it's going to start here in Columbia at 11:45. So that just gives you an idea of how quickly this eclipse is traveling. Oregon over at 11:05 and then Columbia, Missouri at 11:45. So like I said, I've created some maps for you guys. I have some stuff from our sister station. We've got an engineer working on my computer right now that's going to get that social experience for you guys. If you're not on eclipselivestream.com, head there right now. That's where all the best social stuff is going to be. Ashley and Joey.
All right, Alyssa, thanks. And speaking of social media, we have basically everything you're seeing right here online. Social media, on our live stream, everything. So, I mean, we're tweeting, we're Facebooking, we're doing everything for you guys so you can really follow the path of totality.
Right, and we're also broadcasting here, too. But we're going to look at all the different phases, what to look for since you've never seen a total solar eclipse, and that's coming up next, so stay right here.
Live from the path of totality, you're watching Eclipse 2017.
And you know, Ashley, everybody's watching Eclipse 2017, NASA included. NASA, of course, picking Jefferson City as one of the cities along the path of totality to monitor this thing and do a host of studies.
You know, Joey, I actually spoke to one of the guys from NASA this morning in Jefferson City, and just kind of a little tidbit from why they chose, one of the reasons why they chose Jefferson City. One of the main guys at NASA actually is from Springfield, and he's like, Jefferson City would be a great area to go. I mean, other than the, you know, obvious, they're going to have totality in Jefferson City, but that was kind of a fun tidbit for me to learn early this morning.
Right.
But heading back into the studio, ABC 17's Sarah Massler-Donar, she's actually got the NASA Eyes tool up for us right now. Sarah, show us what you're doing in there.
Yeah,
sure, Ashley and Joey. Well, everyone's got their eyes on the skies. I've got my eyes on my computer here. So for those of you at home, you got a laptop, you got your desktop computer handy, check this out. It's on our website, abc17news.com. If you go to our eclipse coverage, coming up behind me here, you can go to this NASA Eyes interactive mapping. You can see it right here. We're pulling it up. I actually have it pulled up in a different window, so I'm going to click over. But once this is done loading, you can enter into this. It will show you what the eclipse is going to look like anywhere in the country. So you're sitting in Columbia right now and you say, okay, well, I want to see what the eclipse is going to look like in Kansas City. So Kansas City, Missouri, check this out. See that little pin that just dropped? Okay, so we can zoom out. Check this out. This is the United States. And this is the line of totality there. You can see that dark line and our little pin. You can move this little guy down here and it will show you. See that? That is the eclipse coming through, and it has a little timestamp down there. So totality-ish in Kansas City, about 1:08. And so you can not only see the United States map view here, if you click in this lower right-hand corner, check it out. I'm going to bring it up here. This is what the eclipse is going to look like. So this is what it's going to look like for totality in Kansas City, but then it moves. This is moving it back. This is 12:06. Look at that. So you can see what it'll look like anywhere. And so I have pinned in here. You can do any kind of pin you want. You just have to add it. So I've got Columbia, Madras, Greenville, St. Louis, St. Joseph. Anywhere we are today, I've got it on here. You can do wherever you want. You can go up here. You can show, let me go back to my map here. Mapping it up. Look at that, you can see it. It'll show the map. It'll really show you anything that you want to see. That's on our website, abc17news.com, and that could give you eyes on the eclipse all over the country. So if that's something you want to do while you're waiting for the eclipse here in mid-Missouri, go ahead and do it.
Cool stuff there, Sarah. Thanks so much. We're also going to send it out to Chief Meteorologist Dave Spielman at KVIA for more information.
It's an unprecedented view of the solar atmosphere that's never been done before. CATE, the Continental American Telescope Eclipse, is an experiment planned a couple of years ago. Scientists donated telescopes to train volunteers to capture 90 minutes of the solar eclipse. The telescopes will be spread evenly along the 14 states that will experience a full solar eclipse.
We've never had this data because this doesn't happen very often, that the path is crossing a landmass for this long of a time.
Dr. Han Eitenbrook is the director of the National Solar Observatory in Sunspot, New Mexico, which will only experience a partial eclipse. The 60-mile-wide path of totality from Oregon to South Carolina will be ground zero using the numerous telescopes.
During a regular eclipse, if you stay in one place, you can only see that corona for 1 or 2 minutes. Putting telescopes at different places along the path allows us to build up a time series where we can see how this corona changes.
The CATE experiment will use 68 identical telescopes along that path of totality. They're going to be manned by trained volunteers and scientists, and the data uploaded will greatly benefit all of us.
What we want to be able to do is to be able to predict phenomena that affect us on Earth, what we call space weather.
This new research could prevent solar disruptions from reaching the Earth and interfering with our satellite and radio communications. Back to you.
Now it is really hot here. I can't remember the last time it was this hot because we had that really nice cool front that came through, but now not so lucky.
Yeah, we're getting a little bit of a breeze right now, which makes it kind of nice, especially since we're all wet with sweat. That kind of cools you off just a little bit more. And a little TMI there, I understand, but really, it's amazing how the weather is affected by these things. Again, we're about to see a temperature drop of anywhere between 10 and 15 degrees.
You know, in mid-August, I will accept that 20-degree temperature drop anytime now.
No doubt. And Alan Rose, who is does weather at KEYT, one of our stations, he's going to explain the effect of the eclipse and weather.
Is that the total one right there?
Yeah, that's total. And you do get a corona around the outside.
So the sun itself, it looks like a hole in the sky.
Ken Kihlstrom is a professor of physics at Westmont College. He's one of the experts who knows exactly what we can all expect to see.
As you look at the horizon in all directions, you're looking outside the shadow, and so you see a glow, and it looks like sunset in all directions. We call it the 360 sunset.
Millions will travel to view the eclipse in what's called the path of totality, a swath across the country where there will be a total solar eclipse. And this is where weather changes will occur as daylight turns to dusk.
Well, depending on how long the totality is, certainly the temperature can drop anywhere from a few degrees to maybe as much as 10 degrees during an eclipse that may last like up to 6 minutes.
It's called the center line. That would be where the maximum eclipse is.
This year's eclipse won't last long, only around 2 to 2.5 minutes. And once the eclipse is over, temperatures will come right back up. The most obvious weather change during a total solar eclipse is a drop in temperatures. But in some cases, we can go from a clear sky like this to seeing clouds appear out of nowhere.
I was down there for the 91 eclipse, and we had a clear sky. The last 15 minutes, clouds started condensing because the temperature dropped and it hit the dew point. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, we got clouds.
While people see the eclipse as something of wonder to be studied and watched, animals see it differently and may act strangely.
Mostly it's animals that they'll start to nest for the night, and, you know, they're just sort of confused. Insects will react to it. But then it comes out pretty quickly, and it's like, whoa, that wasn't a very good night's sleep.
Where the maximum eclipse is going to be.
Like their colleagues, both of these California scientists will be traveling out of state for the eclipse.
If one is able to go as close as Oregon, I would highly encourage you to go see the eclipse. I've heard that it's life-changing.
totality is a very dramatic experience, and so it's a great opportunity to see it. I won't be the only one up there.
In Santa Barbara, Alan Rose reporting.
And you know, Joey, talking about weather, not only is it hot, we've been talking about that obviously, but behind us here, a lot of cloud cover coming in.
Yeah, ABC 17 Storm Track Chief Meteorologist Sharon Ray is standing by with a look at how it's shaping up throughout the day. Hi, Sharon.
Hello, yes, and we've been watching that satellite and radar all morning, and you know those clouds that you're seeing out to the west, those are gradually going to build to the east. They'll be very thin at first, and then they'll become thicker. This is a look at the latest satellite and radar, and if we take that full screen, you can get a better idea of where the clouds and rain are located right now. And again, we still have some pretty good viewing from Columbia and to the south and east, but as you go toward the west, you can see the clouds are increasing, and these will gradually work their way east. And also the rain looks like it is going to stay north, at least for the next hour, hour and a half, before we see that starting to build to the east as well. But as I stop this, you can get a better view here. You see these are those high, thin cirrus clouds up at about 20,000 feet. But again, as you go to the west, they do thicken, and that will be the case as we head into the afternoon. So the forecast is just for fair visibility. We will have clouds around for this, but many will still be able to see the eclipse. We're expecting cloud cover to be about partial cloudy in Columbia. Temperature at eclipse time dropping back into the upper 70s. We are going to see those temperatures climb again, though, once we get past mid-eclipse, and we'll still have more clouds around. So the cloud cover, as you can see, does increase as we head into the afternoon. I expect half the sky covered at the time of mid-eclipse in Columbia and Jefferson City, just a little less than that, and it will increase as we head into the afternoon. For Jefferson City, looking also at those temperatures, very warm and humid out there, but we are going to see those dropping off, and the amount of cloud cover, yeah, it is going to increase, but you'll have a little bit better view here at 1 o'clock, about 47% of the sky covered.
All right, Sharon, it is not exactly the perfect weather, but it could be cooperative. So we have to take it. Again, this is a treat from Mother Nature. So Mother Nature also hosts the weather around the tree.
And here coming up after the break, we're going to head back to my neck of the woods, Hopkinsville, Kentucky, to Eclipseville, USA. Be sure to stay tuned.
Live from the path of totality, you're watching Eclipse 2017.
This is a live look at Jefferson City, where in the path of totality, about 1:13:06 is when that's set to happen, just a short time after the path of totality moves through Columbia.
You know, I was in Jefferson City for our morning newscast this morning where NASA was set up. That's one of 7 places they're broadcasting live. That's a pretty cool event for everybody, downtown Jefferson City. But we're actually going to send it to reporter Karen Caff in Hopkinsville, Kentucky. That's about 20 minutes from where I'm originally from. What they're calling it now is Eclipseville, USA. Karen.
Joey and Ashley, the roads that lead into downtown Hopkinsville have a lot of farmland and a lot of open spaces, and many of them are filling up as people try to stake out a spot in their RV or in their car for ideal eclipse viewing. Now, this is a big event here in Hopkinsville, but it's not even the biggest event that has occurred on an August 21st. That is an entirely out of this world event.
Usually the nickname is Hoptown, but right now, Mayor Carter Hendricks says this is Eclipseville, USA.
We officially proclaimed Hopkinsville to be Eclipseville, USA, August 18th through the 21st.
NASA tagged Hopkinsville, Kentucky as the closest town to the point of greatest eclipse about 10 years ago. Eclipse chasers made travel plans early.
Over a year and a half. We've had reservations, and we knew of its upcoming, and we've been so excited.
I got serious about a year ago. We started picking where, so we started looking at where the eclipse was going to be greatest and where it started, where it stopped. So, and we kind of picked here.
Adding to local eclipse buzz, a cosmic coincidence of sorts.
A lot of you have heard this probably 1,000 times now, but it never gets old.
This weekend, a festival commemorating another headline-grabbing event here. The night some locals arrived at the Hopkinsville police station, claiming they'd been surrounded for hours by out-of-this-world creatures. The date? August 21st, 1955. Believers say it was little green men. Skeptics blame Kentucky moonshine. What's not in doubt? An eclipse boom for businesses here. solar swag to stretch memories beyond today's 2 minutes and 40 seconds.
A lot of people said, well, we can just stay in Ohio and see it. And I'm like, no, you're not going to see what we're going to see. I mean, and we're going to always remember this. Get ready. I mean, my mom and all of us are going to remember that we came here for this weekend to do this.
Now, a few days ago, they were worried about the weather here, possible rain or clouds in the forecast for today, but it has been all sunny skies. The temperature is expected to top out around 91, 92 degrees. Officials were expecting perhaps as many as 100,000 people in this area. Whether that tally includes little green men, that remains to be seen. In Hopkinsville, Kentucky, I'm Karen Kafa. Joey and Ashley, back to you.
Thanks
All right,
so
Karen.
much.
All right, that looks exciting. Now, the next place we're going to go is Lincoln City, Oregon. They're about a half hour. In fact, their totality hits at 9:04:41, and of course, they're on Pacific time, so they're a couple hours behind us.
But correct me if I'm wrong, they're one of the first places to totality in the nation. So we're going to head out to ABC's Marcy Gonzalez, who's actually in Lincoln City, Oregon, who has more on this for us.
Yeah, people are gathering here on this pier and on the beach, crossing their fingers that this fog will lift. If the weather cooperates, we'll be the first people in the country to get to see this total eclipse in just a little while at 10:15 local time this morning. And then for the next hour and a half, the moon's shadow will move to the east, leaving millions of people along the way in awe. The wait is finally over for the Great American Eclipse.
This is a life-changing experience.
From Oregon,
this was going to be one of the prime locations,
to South Carolina.
I'm going to put a pitch for Charleston because we're the last place. We're also the best place to watch.
All eyes protected by those essential eclipse glasses turning upward today for this long-anticipated celestial show.
Not until August 21st, 2017, will another eclipse be visible from North America. That's 38 years from now.
While the last total solar eclipse here in the continental U.S. was in 1979.
Absolutely amazing. There it is.
It's been nearly a century since a total eclipse crossed from coast to coast.
Once in a lifetime event here, you know.
People from every state and around the world celebrating, camping out, crowding small towns, and causing major traffic jams.
Next time I'm going to get a chance to see this is when I'm 40. It's worth it. It's worth the wait.
Across parts of 14 states in the path of totality, that 70-mile wide, 3,000-mile-long stretch where the moon's shadow is turning day instantly into night for a few unforgettable moments.
When we're a little bit older, we're going to be able to tell our kids, guess what we did.
And if you're missing out on this total eclipse, the next one will be in less than 7 years. It'll cross up through Texas, move to the northeast, out through New York in 2024. Marcy Gonzalez, ABC News, Lincoln City, Oregon.
We're focusing on this total solar eclipse, and we're going to be talking a little bit more about this eye safety wear that you have to have.
Can you see me, Joey?
I cannot. That's a good sign, isn't it?
And of course, the ABC 17 Storm Type meteorologist Aaron Morrison is going to have more on this coming after the break. Stay with us.
Live from the path of totality, you're watching Eclipse 2017.
Columbia Police, by the way, they are telling us, Columbia Police, that Cosmo Park Eclipse parking lot is about 60% full. After it fills, no cars will be allowed in. So you want to get there.
Yeah, and we're going to take a live look from Cosmo Park right now. So basically, I don't know, bicycles might be a good idea. It's a lot easier to get in and out. If you ride a bike, get it out.
Exactly. And then, of course, one thing you should not forget, you got to have your eclipse glasses, because a lot of people, I had a big stack of them because so many people said, I forgot mine, I lost them, I gave them to a friend. So it's always good to have extras.
And, of course, our ABC 17 Storm Track weather team is tracking more of this for us right now.
Yeah, that's right, Joey and Ashley. Not only when you head out and start looking at the sun, you do not need to wear sunglasses. They will not protect your eyes. In fact, you need to wear solar eclipse glasses. Now, 3 things I'm going to give you that you need to look for when it comes to making sure that your eyes are going to be safe as you look at the total solar eclipse. You want to make sure that it has the ISO approved stamp. In addition to that, you want to make sure that your total solar eclipse glasses, that they have a manufacturer's name, address, and website. And the third most important thing that you want to look for when you put your solar eclipse glasses on, you want to make sure that you can't see anything at all except for the sun. And of course, one other fact that I want to give you, a lot of us are going to be looking at the sun throughout the entire totality. You want to make sure that you wear plenty of sunscreen as the UV index is high across the country in the path of totality. And of course, if you are not looking at the sun, you do not need to wear your solar eclipse glasses at all. You only need them as long as you're going to be looking at the sun. Back to you guys.
Aaron, thanks a lot. We appreciate that report. And, you know, it's just so important to have these things.
These are high-tech glasses. I put these on earlier.
Yeah.
Great.
And they do have something on the inside. It's inscribed not for use as sunglasses, which is very smart.
But
because
these, you can look at the sun. Don't wear these as sunglasses either.
No, you can't see anything except the sun.
No, it would not be good. But we are actually going to head back out to Cosmo Park. ABC 17's Lindsay Burning has more for us out there. Lindsay, what's going on out there?
Hey guys, yes, we are live here at Cosmo Park where hundreds of people are starting to filter in. Behind me, you can see all these crowds of people here at the food trucks, and I'm going to have the camera pan over just this way. You can see the park is definitely starting to fill up with plenty of people here on blankets enjoying the shade. It is a little bit more cloudy than it was when we got here a couple hours ago, so it is a little bit more pleasant right now, a little bit more bearable to deal with, but everybody's pretty excited right now. We do know that there are 16 Columbia police officers here patrolling the park because of the large crowds. There's also a temporary cell phone tower here because of that large volume of people, so you do have the capability to call 911 if there's an emergency or get a hold of your family members here in the park. So I've talked to several people here in the park. We have visitors here as far from North Carolina, Nevada. I even talked to some coming from Minnesota. Take a listen. Why did you come to Columbia?
Well, a friend invited us, but then he couldn't come, so we left him. We just left without him anyways.
I'm excited for all of it because it's never happened in my lifetime, so it should be something exciting.
We just want to see a lot of things that this place has to offer. That's why we decided to come here.
Wish everybody, you know, good luck and good omens from the new eclipse. Brings new beginnings, so.
Now, I also talked to an MU ophthalmologist here who is in charge of the eye department of MU Hospital. He did re-emphasize why it's so important to wear those those eclipse glasses here today when we're looking at the eclipse, even though it's cloudy, even though it might not seem like you might need some. But he did say, like we've been covering for a long time now, when the sun does go into totality, your pupils are going to be adjusted for that darkness. And when the sun comes back out, that's basically just going to burn a thermal burn in your eyes and even burn a hole in your eyes. So that's why it's just so important. They are still giving out free glasses today, so if you haven't gotten one yet, you still have time. So for now, back to you, Ashley and Joey.
All right, Lindsay, hey, we just jumped around. We were
just
so
got really excited.
Glanced up, and we saw it. Using the eclipse glasses, you can actually see it starting now.
That's awesome.
Looks like a tiny bite out of the sun.
Hey, that was like, actually, for the first time me using these and seeing that, I'm like shaking. That's so cool. Now I just want it to happen.
And we're going to see totality.
So
Isn't that fantastic? So will you if you have your eclipse glasses or your pinhole projector. Remember, you can always do that. Poke a hole in something and let it flow through the sun rays. We are back in just a moment. Stay with us.
Oregon, Idaho, Missouri, South Carolina. Live from the path of totality, you're watching coast-to-coast coverage of Eclipse 2017.
And that's the voice guy, Charlie Van Dyke, and he said Oregon first because Oregon's the first place to see it.
And that is about Madras, Oregon. That's about 120 miles southeast of Portland, Oregon. Just to put that in perspective of where it is for you.
Right. And we are seeing, we can't see the shot ourselves, but obviously it's happening. We can see here, everyone's getting excited because they're watching what they can see of ours that's happening right now. And again, it's still a little bit of a bite. Our full eclipse isn't until around 1:12. We also are in Idaho Falls, and that, of course, is Idaho, where it's not just about potatoes today. It is actually about the eclipse because they're in the path of totality. Look at that.
Now, where you're seeing that right now, that is 90 miles west of Jackson, Wyoming. If you're familiar with the state of Wyoming, they did have the Museum of Idaho. They were hosting a watch event along with live commentary from NASA during totality. So the same thing that they're doing in Jefferson City, Missouri, kind of what we've been telling you about.
And you're seeing folks now at Cosmo Park in Columbia. They are all glancing up at the little bite. Okay, I'm sorry, this is not Cosmo. This is still Idaho Falls, okay. This is at the Museum of Idaho, and that's in Idaho Falls, and you can see they're excited and watching it there. That's probably a lot what the folks at Cosmo look like right now.
Yeah, and then totality was expected to arrive at 11:33 Mountain Time in Idaho Falls. That's our station KIFI.
Right.
And now we're going to go to Casper, Wyoming.
Yep.
Circling back around.
In the Cowboy State. And that is where our crews from KRDO are stationed, and they're having a big party there. This is about 280 miles north of Denver, if you don't know where it is. It's a bit southeast of Jackson, Wyoming, if you do know where that. Maybe you've been skiing there or you've been there on vacation or something.
Yeah, and Joey, something else that I thought was pretty interesting, our people at KRDO, they actually had to travel up to Casper just to get, a chance to look at this and see it, because, you showed me that map earlier, that path. I mean, it's pretty defined and where you're going.
It is, and it's a beautiful place out there. Right, yeah, exactly. We're not going to see, you're going to have to go somewhere else if you want to see this again in your lifetime.
Yeah, and then kind of the same thing with Idaho Falls. They're supposed to see totality at 11:33 Mountain Time as well, so not too much of a difference.
And, of course, we have a station in St. Joseph, Missouri, and this is Fox 26 KNPN, and I think we have a shot from those guys that we might be able to bring up, and this is a live look of St. Joseph right now. A little bit of cloud coverage, but there's still time for those clouds to blow out. And you can actually, the weather of the eclipse can affect the weather in such a way in the path of totality that it can actually blow some of the clouds away.
And I don't know if I'm just going crazy here, the heat's getting to my head, but I almost feel like the temperature is kind of cooling off here in Columbia in just the past 5 minutes. I mean, and we know out west there's more cloud coverage of, our chief meteorologist Sharon Ray has been telling us.
Right.
So it's to be expected in St. Joe.
Exactly. We're going to take a look at this one just to see it again. I think, oh yeah, this is a nice look right now. You have to take a look at that. It's getting closer and closer, and we are in the path of totality. And, that's the beautiful thing. When you see it right now, if you look up right now with your glasses, you'll see what looks like a bite out of the moon. And that's what people once thought it was, is that some creature, even a frog, was trying to eat the moon. And then in order to scare away the demons, the frog, in one case it was another creature of some sort, a dragon. They would bang on pots and pans and go out and make all this noise, hopefully to scare those dragons, demons, whatever, frog away. And then they, of course, would get the full sun back. So they thought it worked. And some people still to this day do it just because of that tradition.
I wonder how many people are going to try and keep that tradition up and do that again today.
Give me a pot and pan, I'll give it a go.
Show us some videos and pictures of this. I want to see it. We're going to take a live look at Cosmo Park in Columbia, Missouri. Once again, Joey, as we can see right there, hundreds of people are showing up to Cosmo Park now. They got their tents up, so that's good because it is hot.
Yeah, about a half hour ago, they said the lot was 60% full, and I would imagine a lot of people are going to be coming at the last moment. And, emergency services, they talked about being prepared. They didn't say it was going to happen, that we weren't going to get 100, 200, 400,000 people, but they wanted to brace just in case we did get that crush of people.
Yeah, and I think anyone would rather be over-prepared than under-prepared.
Sure.
But like I said earlier, and I actually, when I was in Jefferson City this morning doing in our morning newscast, just clicking on the Jefferson City Convention Bureau's website, they encourage people to drive or to ride their bikes there. Just think about it. Just pull up, and you don't have to deal with parking or anything like that. So if you have a bike, get on the bike.
That's a great idea. Exactly. And if you do get in your car, do not look up while you're driving. I mean, you know that. I don't want to insult you by telling you the obvious, but you'll be tempted to take a glance. Just park, get where you need to be. And they are preparing for people to do that on the interstate, which, as you know, could be deadly.
You know, Highway Patrol, JCPD, Columbia Police, they have everybody on deck, all crews on deck type situation today, and they are recommending people do not. And we are just getting now the I-70 rest stop in Boonville is closed.
Yeah, and not sure exactly why that is the case. It may be just full of people who wanted to stop there and see the eclipse there, so it's already full. So that is a place to rest and see the eclipse, I suppose.
I know a lot of people from Ladue, the Ladue, St. Louis area, were coming to Boonville just to watch the eclipse here. So we've got prime viewing.
You know, and I was explaining this to some folks in Mobile, Alabama, and they were telling me what they were going to be able to see and this kind of thing. And then as you get toward the path of totality, people say, I'm just going to watch the 90%. And I heard an astrophysicist say that the 90%, to do that instead of going all the way to see 100% in the path of totality would be like taking your family 90% of the way to Disney World.
And nobody wants that. You want to go all the way to Disney World.
You want to get all the way. Right, especially when you're that close to the path of totality.
And then if you're just now tuning in, if you're coming, if you know anyone coming from the west side, like the Kansas City area, over to Columbia, apparently traffic is backed up bumper to bumper, but there's no traffic going westbound. So everybody's trying to come this way. If you know anybody coming this way, let them know, forewarn them if they're coming to this.
Yeah, and you can pull up eclipse maps with NASA, GreatAmericanEclipse.com. It might be .org, but these guys have fantastic maps that show you exactly where it is. And then that way you don't have to come into the city limits of Columbia in order to see this thing. Obviously, it's not like...
Which is kind of why they closed the rest stop in Boonville.
Right, because people they can find a place. They don't have to all come to Faroe Field, for example.
And again, if you're just now tuning in, this is a live look at Cosmo Park in Columbia, Missouri. Hundreds of people are there. When we checked in with ABC 17's Lindsay Burning, she said 60% of the parking lot was full.
Right. That's what they said.
I know. I need to grab my glasses here.
Oh, we're getting closer and closer.
Let's see if I can.
Here, take a look.
Let me see those. I've got this headset on. Yeah. I got real giddy when I saw this.
And it's really happening. It's getting
closer. Oh my gosh.
And closer.
If you guys have your glasses, of course, make sure they're ISO certified.
Right.
If you have these, step outside and take a look. Like, you can actually start to see it happening. Even though there is cloud coverage, you can still see it.
And you know what I just did? I took my glasses off too soon, and it burned my eyes a little bit. So please don't do that. We are taking a look at what, Zach? We're hearing this. Oh, this is our telescope cam
from
right here in Columbia. So take a look at this. This is the filter, of course. Obviously, you can see that there is a good portion of the sun obscured in this partial eclipse, and that is, of course, the part that moon is going to come all the way and block it entirely. And remember, the sun is 400 times larger than the moon, so it's hard for people to comprehend how it works, but it's also 400 times farther away.
Oh my gosh, yeah, and as I said, like this shot that you're getting right now, you can walk outside with your glasses and you can see the exact same thing for yourself. But right now, we're going to head to ABC 17 Storm Track Chief Meteorologist Sharon Ray for more on your eclipse forecast. Sharon, there's clouds.
I know, yeah, I just stepped outside, and those are those very high, thin clouds. So we're still seeing the eclipse through those. The problem is that they will thicken a bit within the next hour. That is a look at satellite and radar, and you'll notice we don't have to worry about rain in Columbia. Although our northwest counties here, you are getting some showers and storms right now. In Columbia, though, we are seeing from Columbia westward those thick cirrostratus clouds up at about 20 to 25,000 feet, and they're making it a little bit dimmer to see the eclipse, but you can still see it through it. Farther to the south and east, however, you've got much more sunshine, and that will continue to be the trend here through the afternoon. But as I stop this, you can see where the line is. South of 70, much better viewing. To the north, all this pulling north and east. northeast will continue to have those thicker clouds occasionally as you go through Colombia and toward Fulton in Mexico. I did update this every half hour now, the percent cloud cover. I bumped it up a little bit from the new data, and you can see we're looking at by 1 to 1:30 about 60% cloud cover, and then that will continue to increase later this afternoon. We could even see a few spot thunderstorms this afternoon as well that will increase. For Jefferson City, that's what you're looking at here. That still looks like you're going to have slightly better viewing. You'll still have some clouds around, but not quite as thick during mid-eclipse here, 55 to 57% cloud cover. So keeping an eye on that here in the next hour or two. I'll continue to have updates on this graph. And right now we're going to toss it over to Alyssa Toomey, talking about social media and the Eclipse 2017.
Yeah, hey guys, I've been here at this social hub trying to get things ready for you all morning, and I've been finding a lot of really cool stuff. And I actually have my phone set up right now in front of me as well, because I'm Facebook Living this entire thing. So you can watch me search through as I go through all of these different social media, all the different contents that coming in. So let me show you a little bit. So here is a map that our ABC 17 Storm Track meteorologist put together. And you can see here that 11:45, we had fair visibility here. And then the maximum eclipse is coming at 11:12. So that is here in Columbia, Missouri. And then let me give you a look here. Bear with me, this is running a little slowly. I want to give you a look at what it is looking like then here in... All right, let's get this pulled up here. All right, so this is the Capitol Eclipse venue here, and these are all the different things that are going to be going on at the Capitol today. That is where ABC 17, we have our news crew station there. You just heard ABC 17's Joey Parker and Ashley Strohmeyer talking a little bit about that. Let me see if I can get one more image here pulled up for you guys, because I have some more photos that I want to show you of what is happening over at KESQ. That is our sister station over in Palm Springs. So the eclipse has already been hitting there, and then it's traveling over here very quickly. So I'm going to get that pulled up for you. I'll have that for you shortly.
All right, Alyssa, thank you. Hey, we have a big treat coming up for you. We have Dr. Angela Speck, the astrophysicist from Mizzou, who is just such a blast to talk with about this. She knows so much about it. She's been waiting almost her whole life for this day.
It's awesome. She finally gets to experience it seriously and talk about it.
And we get to talk to her coming up next, so we hope you stick around. And we are back with astrophysicist Dr. Angela Speck. She is just fresh off of an interview with the BBC. And Angela, I have heard you on so many outlets. You have been in so demand. And I really want to thank you for taking the time to do this. I knew that it would be a big drain on you. And this is a day you've waited for a long time, isn't it?
Absolutely. I've been wanting to see a total eclipse since I first knew that they existed, like 1976. And this is my first chance to get to see one, so I am super excited.
Now, you've traveled the world. I'm surprised that you didn't go to one.
Well, so it's actually really hard to get to these places, and even though I have traveled, it's always been on the back of conferences and things, and so unless they happen to coincide with an eclipse, you're in trouble. I did drive down to New Mexico for the annular eclipse 5 years ago, which is where you still see the edge of the sun, but you know, it's something that actually, you have to rearrange your life around it if you really want to chase eclipses.
Sure, and you know Fred Espenek, who is Mr. Eclipse, and he's seen, I think this one's going to be his 29th.
Right. And, you know, there are people like him and Jay Pasakoff, who's a professor, and he's seen, like, I think he's seen 60-plus eclipses total, over 30 of them are totals. And, you know, there are people who've seen at least 10, 20, and they keep going back for more, and they rearrange their lives. They live frugally so that they can afford to go and see them, because they are usually in the hard places to get to. And now we've got this one, and it's easy to get to.
Coming to us.
Fantastic.
Isn't it great? All right. Well, Dr. Speck, hopefully you'll stick around a little bit longer, and we'll be able to talk to you in just a few minutes. We're going to keep monitoring this. We also have a shot of this is in Oregon right now, I believe. This is Madras, Oregon, and we're going to be seeing this soon. and Chief Meteorologist Bob Shaw is there, and he has the latest details now on what's happening there. It's pretty exciting, isn't it, Bob?
You're going to get the diamond ring soon.
Well, here we are in Madras, Oregon. Madras has a population of about 6,500 people on any given day, except this one. Today, they have a population of over 100,000. And as you can see behind me, we have a lot of folks that have gathered. The light has dimmed, and we are nearing totality. I thought after all these years, I would be the only one that had not seen total eclipse. But I'm being told we have quite a number of eclipse virgins out here this year that are seeing an eclipse for their very first time. This is totality, and it's moments away, everyone. You want to have your sunglasses, your special solar glasses, that is, ready to remove, actually, because during totality, you can take these glasses off and you get a nice corona around the sun. Now, we don't have any cloud cover like has been reported from some of the other stations. This morning, we just have a little smoke. We're kind of surrounded by wildfire, so we have a little smoke that has put a hazy cast over there. We are now entering totality. I'm going to cease my comment, and we are just going to let you enjoy Eclipse 2017.
Hey, look at the planet over here.
Oh, my God. Oh, that's so pretty. Oh, my gosh, Bob, that is so beautiful.
Oh, look at that. Beautiful. Wow.
I can't probably stop it.
Wow. You can't describe that.
That's way cool.
Oh, look up, look up, look up.
I know.
Oh, wow. Janine,
yeah.
use the binoculars.
Okay.
Roger that.
Oh, it's beautiful. Ron, you've got to look at this. I'm trying to find this. You get the wings of the sun coming out. Here we go.
Roger, I got that. Thank you.
Oh, what is that?
Oh, honey, this is amazing. Look at the corona.
Reaching out and reaching out
Oh.
the rays from the sun.
Oh, my goodness.
Isn't that fabulous? I mean, you can see it with the naked eye, but when you've got these on.
Oh, the
sunset all around.
Oh.
I hope somebody gets this picture.
I got it on video.
Piano.
Sit down. I want to sit down.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
There's the sun.
Oh my gosh. Ah! This is orgasmic. It is. It is.
No, because I have to listen to them.
I'm losing my virginity.
It's past tense.
Yeah, I lost it. I lost my eclipse virginity here.
Wow.
And it was orgasmic.
Wow.
I love it. Oh, Bailey's beads.
Look at that.
Bailey's beads. Woo!
There's the ring.
The diamond ring. I saw the Bailey's beads and the diamond ring.
Yes, I saw it.
It has been a magnificent sight.
Wow.
We are going to toss you now to Joey Parker at KMIZ. Joey, I cannot wait for you and Ashley and the rest of America to see this very, very impressive sight. In Madras, Oregon, for KTVZ News Channel 21, I'm Bob Shaw.
Okay.
Bob, I am just envious that you got to see this. We have chills right now because we watched it happen. We could hear people screaming and cries of joy. They were so excited to see this. Dr. Angela Speck is standing next to me. She got a little giddy on a couple things. She pointed out the diamond ring, and we're going to talk about that when it comes time for us to do that, and that'll be coming up shortly. It's here. It's on us.
It's coming. It's coming.
We're back in just a moment.
Live from the path of totality, you're watching Eclipse 2017.
And we are back with Dr. Angela Speck from the zoo. And Dr. Speck, this is an exciting time. It's already starting here. We've seen totality on the air, and it's coming here, and it'll be here soon. So tell me what we're going to experience right before it.
So as the moon is moving into place and it's getting darker, but it's not dark yet, the sky goes a funny color, and you'll kind of experience that it feels weird, a bit like a stormy day. And as the moon is moving into place, if you're lucky, you might even see the shadow bands, which is basically where you've got all of these little jagged peaks on the moon. So you're getting kind of darker and lighter bits of shadow just before the main shadow comes into place. So if you watch the ground, you'll see funny patterns on the ground. It's also a time to be watching the shadows because they all go awesome.
All the shadows.
All the shadows,
different
everything.
Types of...
Especially on the trees, or if you make like waffle patterns with your fingers, or you have a colander, any way you can make a little hole, anything that you do will show an image of that crescent sun.
I thought we had some people from the Church of the Flying Spaghetti Monster here because I saw the colanders.
There are a lot of colanders.
Dr. Speck, we'll talk to you again in just a few minutes, and you stick around, and we'll be back in just a moment.
Live from the path of totality, you're watching Eclipse 2017.
We are at about a third, it looks like. We're on the way to totality right now, so it's very exciting.
Now, somebody who is in totality right now is Idaho Falls in Idaho. That is,
that's a bit west of Jackson.
Yeah, it's 90 miles west of Jackson,
right.
Wyoming. So let's enjoy totality with them.
My wife is astronomical.
All right, thank you very much. We are 3 minutes away. The NASA experts who are here in Idaho Falls have just announced that we're 3 minutes away from complete totality. I just looked up really fast with my glasses, and it's just a sliver. The shadow is supposed to be headed down Main Street behind me in just about a minute. So it's pretty exciting. Let me just step out of your way, watch the crowd. Everybody's looking up. And
it's like 2001 Space Odyssey.
It is a more exciting experience than I ever imagined it would be. So let me back off. Look at everybody's looking up. They're watching it. The sky is an odd feeling. It's not quite twilight. It's almost like our eyes have to re-white balance. Here's your crowd.
Card. To buy dog food and stuff like that. Well, and toilet paper. I don't have a card. I got one. So you want to think? Oh, that's okay. I was mentioning to what the hell is her that
If you're really good, you'll see a dashed line around the moon where the sunlight is leaking through in the valleys between the mountain peaks. Those are called Bailey beads.
Hey guys, we're live here.
The shadow is 1 minute out of Idaho Falls, and it's coming down Main Street.
The street lamps just went on.
Look. Oh my God.
Well, it should be around less than 30 seconds.
Less than 30 seconds to totality.
It's getting dark. It's a 360-degree sunset that you can see, and the shadow is now sweeping in from the west.
Here comes the shadow from the west.
Welcome to totality. It is safe to take your glasses off. It's nighttime.
Take your glasses off. It is safe. Take your glasses off.
Nighttime in the middle of the day. This is my first one, and I can understand why people go around the planet chasing these things. The red flag, are we actually seeing flares? Prominences on either side? The red things are prominences. Those are solar flares coming off of the surface of the sun. Oh my God, you can see stars, there's Venus. Can't see numbers. It's not as dark as I thought because I think we're off center line.
Oh yeah, and I see Mars.
That is really pretty wild.
Tiny little twinkle.
There's Venus over.
That's Venus. Yeah, you've got their eyes.
You can see those prominences really are orange red in color.
Yeah, see the color right?
That sun is 93 million miles away from us, and it takes light 8.5 minutes to go from there to here. We're relatively close. Oh, it's going out the other side.
Oh my God, you see it like everywhere.
Glasses back on.
Glasses back on. Everybody get your glasses back on. This would be a chance for my creatures to go.
Really pretty. Yeah. Oh, how's the temperature doing? What's my temperature?
All right, so the sun is coming out on the other side. This was the most exciting thing I've ever experienced. 1,500 people here screaming their heads off, applauding nature for doing what nature does best. Reporting from the Museum of Idaho in Idaho Falls, Idaho, I'm Carol Honus. Keep chasing the eclipse.
Notice how loud she has to speak. Anybody who's in news knows that if it's really loud around, you have to really speak louder. And I was just saying, it sounds like a sporting event that they just went to, like a basketball and football game.
And Dr. Speck, you know how people are excited. We're going to hear it too. People get excited.
People get really excited. I mean, it's something that is such an emotional surge that people will start weeping, and you have a lot of shouting and kissing because it's one of those things that people do when they get excited. So yeah, I fully expect it to be loud on here.
You have been cautioned.
Yes, I have. I'm going to bite my tongue.
Well, it's going to be so exciting. I know that one of the things, when we're in totality, I've even said, will I be calm, cool, and collected? Like the first time I bungee jumped on air, and I said, let's tape this. Because I don't want to be responsible for anything
what you actually say. Yes.
And so people are going to see this, and they're going to react in ways because they've never seen anything like it.
And you feel it with more than just your eyes. You've got your skin gets cold, you're going to hear things, and it's just an all-body experience. I've had people say it's as good as sex, so.
Well, we're going to be having that here on the air in a very family sort of way. So it's going to be a lot of fun, and we're going to have it. I keep looking up. Don't do that. Use your glasses for sure.
That breeze, though, feels a lot better right now. If we would have had that an hour ago, it would have been perfect.
It really does. Oh, we are getting there. We are really getting there. Okay, and then we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to go back to my old stomping ground, Casper, Wyoming, the cowboy state, as they experience totality. So stick around.
Live from the path of totality, you're watching Eclipse 2017.
And welcome back. We are so glad that you are joining us for this special broadcast. We are on the air for 3 hours today as we've been tracking totality from the Pacific Ocean all the way across to the Atlantic and right through mid-Missouri.
And speaking of mid-Missouri, I swear, it feels like it's 10 degrees cooler than it was when we first started. Oh my goodness, way over an hour ago.
If it felt like this the whole time, we wouldn't be so sweaty right now.
We wouldn't look like we do now. Bear with us here. But I will say this, the breeze is coming through. There is some cloud coverage, but if you step outside, if you're in Columbia right now, if you step outside and you look up with your glasses, you can still see, that we're we're getting there.
Right, we are getting there. I don't know the exact measurement of how much we have, and I think we have some cloud coverage here because I can't spot it.
Well, then, Joe, you actually just tweeted a picture from your phone of what we're seeing right now. So, Joey Parker, ABC 17, you can take a look at that if you don't have a pair of glasses.
And you could see the substantial amount of the moon in front of the sun. And we're going to see, again, that totality coming up soon.
Take a look at that picture out of that live view out of Casper, Wyoming
that's
there.
Beautiful,
I can't wait to see that. I got all giddy when I first looked up at these.
Us too, the one from Madras, when that one went, and then we saw the diamond ring. I've talked about this before, and Dr. Speck shouted out, "It's the diamond ring!" And people do this. I've watched old videos of these things over the years, and people have these things that are their favorite parts. Bailey's beads, the diamond ring, just totality. And a lot of people just like the partials.
Well, and then, you know, if we go back to Idaho Falls, what we just saw before we took this last break, people were screaming in excitement. I wonder if that's how it's going to be here. Probably.
I have a feeling it will be, but look at this.
And
it's just a mere sliver now.
We're about in totality. This is in Casper, Wyoming right now. Take a look at that. That's what we're going to see here too, guys.
And we are on a little bit of a delay, so if we see something and it doesn't quite match up, just bear with us here. But
and keep in mind,
we're watching in Casper, Wyoming.
Yeah, that's 280 miles north of Denver, Colorado, putting it in perspective for you.
It is a beautiful part of the country. It is a great place to see this. You know, we happen to be here on the roof. We're a tiny bit closer to the eclipse, but this is not any different than what you would see in your own yard.
No, and that's, you know, that's kind of what my family's doing. They're like, where should we go? I said, we have no buildings around our house. Just go out in the driveway and look up. Make sure you have your glasses on.
Right, and you don't need it. That's what's so great about it. It's the event for everybody.
Let's take a look at this. We'll enjoy this with everybody else.
This is absolutely incredible. All right, so, okay, that's totality. They just re-racked the camera. It bounced a little there. Again, I might be delayed on this. And then in just a moment, you may be able to see Bailey's beads and the diamond ring. They are 2.5 minutes. They're in the longer range of totality, like us. So they're enjoying this at the moment.
Pretty cool.
Let's just take a look at it. Okay, we are monitoring the eclipse in Casper, Wyoming. They're trying to readjust a camera, it looks like. This thing is hard to get because, you know, we are talking about quite a distance from the Earth to shoot this stuff. Plus, you have to have the filter, and all you need is one cloud to move in the wrong way, and you can lose it. You can lose it. But that's what happens when you have to zoom out so far with the telephotic lens.
And now back here in Columbia, Missouri, our very own ABC 17 Storm Track Chief Meteorologist Sharon Ray is actually tracking the phases of the eclipse. Sharon.
Yes, and we continue to watch closely the cloud cover and the rain as it is in our viewing area, but the thicker clouds are north of Interstate 70, the thinner clouds are to the south. And in Columbia, it's been variable. We get even some of those darker low-level clouds every once in a while passing through, and then above those, we've got the thin shield of high clouds that we can see the eclipse through. Most likely, we're just going to have some of those higher clouds at the maximum part of the eclipse, but right now you can see as I zoom in here on Doppler radar and satellite imagery, here are the clouds, and they do get thicker as you go to the north. Toward Ashland, Jefferson City, and southward, it's a better view, but as you go to the north, it is going to be in and out. We're looking at a partly cloudy sky here during the eclipse, where we will see the high, thin clouds being rather persistent, but I do think they may actually start to thin out a little bit as that rain continues to move away from us. So at mid-eclipse in Columbia, the temperature will have dropped closer to 80 degrees. Right now, it's still at 87. So far, we've lost about 1.2 degrees since the eclipse started, and it continues to drop. I'm monitoring that. But we are going to continue to be very warm and humid with partial sunshine. As we go to the end of the eclipse, temperatures will go back up, depending on the cloud cover and how thick it is. I do think, though, that we are going to have plenty of clouds around. But again, a lot of those are those higher, thin clouds, and we're still seeing the eclipse through those. Nevertheless, we'll see that cloud cover at maximum eclipse in Columbia between 1 and 1:30, and it's around 12 in Columbia, 60% cloud cover. Better news, though, for Jefferson City, as with the partly cloudy sky, just fewer clouds out there. They won't be quite as thick. We are looking at the cloud cover in Jefferson City a little bit better, about 55 to 57%. So that's what we're keeping an eye on. And also those very warm and sticky temperatures that you're feeling out there, those are going to come down a little bit and then go right back up again. We're still looking at heat indices this afternoon in the mid to upper 90s. So take care with that as we continue to watch the eclipse.
All right, Sharon, thanks so much. And I'm going to do a real quick check here. As Sharon said, there's clouds. I can still see it.
All right.
We're in luck.
I couldn't see it a moment ago, but you can see
I can
it
now.
Why don't we take a look and see what Lindsay Burning is seeing at Cosmo Park in Columbia. Lindsay?
Yeah, that's right, Joey and Ashley. We are here live at Cosmo Park, just counting down the minutes until totality. It is in a partial eclipse right now, as you guys know, here in Columbia. Lots of people looking up at the sun now with their eclipse glasses. They are still giving those out today, so if you don't have your pair yet, there is still time to get some. Now, the Parks and Rec director, Mike Griggs, did tweet out earlier that in just one of these small parking lots, there's about 99 spaces, 72 of those license plates of those cars were from out of state. So lots of people traveling from out of Missouri just to come here and watch this, view this eclipse. We've talked to people here from North Carolina. We've talked to people from Nevada. We've talked to people from Minnesota and Michigan. So lots of people traveling here. We will check back in with you guys once it's totality. Back to you.
Okay, Lindsay, thank you. That is going to be where a lot of folks will be enjoying the totality that we're going to get here. We're, of course, enjoying it on the roof. Some people are at Gans recreation area. And, of course, we have a whole host of folks in Jefferson City.
I was actually just... Funny you say that, because I was just checking Twitter, looking at some of the pictures that people are posting at the Capitol, the South Lawn. The place is packed. They're saying thousands of people are there.
They have monitors, large screens where they're showing this. They're showing it pass across, and that is, of course, where NASA is as well. So what a thrill. We're going to leave you for just a moment with this live look at St. Joseph, and we are back in a moment.
Live from the path of totality, you're watching Eclipse 2017.
Everyone, welcome back. This is Joey Parker and I on the roof at the Broadway Hotel in Columbia. You know, Joey, I cannot tell if it's the cloud cover that's cooling me off or if it's the eclipse.
It's a combination of things, I'm sure. But right now, we're looking, the sun looks like a crescent moon.
It's pretty
cool. But of course, it's the sun. So that's how close we are to totality. It's just around the corner.
And then, of course, with everyone trying to get into this area, there's going to be traffic. So we have crews out monitoring those roadways right now.
We're going to check in right now with Sarah Mastrodon. Sarah, how's it looking out there?
Hello, hello. So right now in mid-Missouri, we are looking very good, but of course we haven't reached totality yet. I'm actually looking at Madras, Oregon. We had totality there just about 25 minutes ago. Check out some of these traffic cameras that we have around Madras. Look at this one. This is an intersection here in Madras, if it will pop up. Look at that. I know it's a little bit small. I can zoom it in here for you a little bit. That is one of the intersections. So I'm not going to say that's what mid-Missouri is going to look like, but that is right after totality. That looks nice and clear, but you can see it's backed up. And these people look like they were on the side of the road. They're all pulling back onto the US 26 highway there. So that's Madras right now in Oregon, but all over really. We're kind of waiting for this to refresh a little bit. We've got some slowdowns all around here in Salem, a little bit right here, but really I'm just checking it out. I've got some of these cameras up. Of course, I had this up the whole time, and now it doesn't want to work. So watch this. These are the MODOT cameras that I've been looking at here for everybody, and I can just tell you, though, right now, everything is looking clear, because I could bring up right now, this is Columbia, St. Charles Road, and it's pretty slow right now, but I'm just saying I'm watching Madras, and oh, there we go, St. Charles Road, looking really clear right now, inbound and outbound. So right now we're looking at clear roads, but I'm going to be continuing to monitor this as soon as we go into totality. Alyssa, over to you with some social media.
Yeah, thanks so much, Sarah. I've been going through all of these different images here, and earlier I told you guys about this really cool application that I'm using. It's the Facebook Live map, basically. So all of these little dots that you see here on my screen are where people are Facebook Living. And I took this Facebook Live actually just around the time when it was hitting totality in Madras, Oregon. So you can see how it's all along the West Coast there, and the path of totality, it is starting to blow up on Facebook Live when we hit totality here. I will compare that in Columbia, Missouri.
All right, Alyssa, thanks so much. Looking forward to that. Also, kind of reeling it back into mid-Missouri here. We're under 20 minutes from totality ourselves.
We're just around the corner, and you can feel it. You can see the overcast. This is the kind of thing we were talking about. You can, it's cooperating up there, the clouds. We can actually see it, and again, it's becoming a sliver soon. Again, I put it as sort of a crescent moon is what it looks like.
Can't see it right now because the cloud cover.
Okay, yep, and in fact, they have Kyle has a light on our camera right now that he may have to turn on. That's what's happening out here. And it was a sunny, hot day.
I mean, when I first got here, I was like, there's no way. I mean, there's no problems. But now all these clouds are rolling in. And like Joey said, we've got a light on the camera. That's what we use at night.
All right, we're going to take you to St. Joe right quick. This is the Pony Express statue that you can find there. And we are back in a moment. Stay with us.
Idaho, Missouri, South Carolina. Live from the path of totality, you're watching coast-to-coast coverage of Eclipse 2017.
And as you know by now, this is the path of totality, Columbia, Jefferson City, and you can feel it with the crowd right now. People are noticing the temperature change. They're noticing the cloud cover change. Everybody's looking up to what looks like a sliver of the sun now.
It's just a tiny bit. And then something I've been very curious about this whole time we've been talking about this. This is going to affect the animals.
That's right. They notice this change in sky. You can already see it. It's like the sky's darker than usual, and it's almost like just after sunset. And so a lot of animals behave oddly. And it's one of these things that we get an eclipse somewhere on the planet every year, so we've got lots of anecdotes about beasties doing things. Birds we expect to start, you can see actually if you look around, there are birds starting to flying around and they make noise. Cows go back to the barn. But there are some things we don't know because, you know, they just haven't been studied well. And so this is a really great opportunity for us to really look at it.
I had a woman who owns a kennel and a dog hotel, and she emailed and asked if she should walk dogs during this time. And I said, you know, it wouldn't hurt just to give them a break, just in case, because we don't really know. I doubt anything would happen, but it could just be scary for them.
Now, Dr. Speck, and I know I talked to you a little bit about this, and we don't know much about it, but the thing that I was curious about is, you know, since it is getting darker, are the deer going to be running or anything like that, or raccoons, any of those nocturnal animals?
Right, so, you know, I mean, I think that you're going to have, beasties are going to behave like it's getting to sunset, but we don't go through a late twilight color, so we're already in an early twilight color. And then, but when it gets dark, it's going to get dark really fast. So I think for some of them, they don't have time to react. And then others, if they start during that early twilight, then they will go out. So I think deer may not be a big deal, but we'll see. I mean, other places on the path, like in Wyoming, they have buffalo, bison.
Yep.
I want to know what they were doing.
Or antelope.
But
The second
it's all
fastest
being
landing.
studied. So, I mean, we're going to know a lot of this.
Right. There's a lot of cameras out there looking at this. And even here at MU, we've got webcams on things so that we can actually see what's going on with all sorts of beasties.
I've even seen NASA-related sites where they ask you to offer your stories about your pets.
Exactly.
And how they're reacting. But the birds is what we heard more about. But I also wonder if you've ever been to Austin, Texas, when the bats come out from under the bridge and it almost goes dark. I wonder if they're going to come out.
Right, I mean, that would be cool. Now, Austin doesn't get it this time,
right.
But the next eclipse,
2024,
that goes over Austin.
It goes over Austin, and a lot of people have heard me say this. It goes over Carbondale, Illinois. They're getting it today and in 2024.
They've got a double whammy.
Exactly. Actually, some parts of Missouri get it too. So where the path goes, like Cape Girardeau and at the Boot Hill, and then, but they don't get today's. But then Cape Girardeau and that little bit of the east side of the state up through Perryville, Festus, they will get both as well. So, you know, you'll enjoy this one so much, you're actually going to become eclipse chasers. But you'll get another one in 7 years, and that'll be awesome too.
And you're just as excited about the one in 2024, right?
I'm super excited about that one too. This one's cooler because it covers more different climates within the country, and so different terrain. And also, that one's in April. So, you know, right now it's a little cloudy, but we can still see. April in the Midwest, not the best time.
Right.
And then I think this is out of St. Joe right now that we're bringing you a shot up of. Looks like it's.
Wow. There's the Pony Express statue, and I think their eclipse totality is at 06. Is that right?
Yeah.
Let's see, and so
my producer's
right now,
saying 2 minutes away
we're at
from totality
103.
in St.
Yep.
Joe.
Right.
And then if you're in mid-Missouri right now, put your glasses on, step outside, take a look at that little sliver of the sun you can see.
It is very much just a sliver.
It is a sliver. Just a slice.
Isn't it gorgeous?
Now, when
I love
you
it.
see that,
it's just amazing, isn't it?
and
It's
you've
just
been
like,
waiting for this for so long,
Uh-huh.
and here it is actually happening.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do tomorrow.
Pretty nice for a
I
Monday.
had somebody ask me, what in the world am I going to talk about on Tuesday?
We'll find something.
We'll find something. But I promise you I won't start doing stories right away on Eclipse 2024, okay? I promise. We'll stay away from that one for a while. But this is just incredible. Now, there's some contrails up there of an aircraft, and I'm wondering if that's one of those trips where they're going above the cloud coverage to check this out.
Oh, I do hope so.
Dr. Speck, Joey, we're getting a little bit of a break in the clouds. I'm wondering if this is. Oh, look at the ring around that. Look at the ring.
Fantastic.
Everybody, if you can now, there's a ring. Is that a?
It's a coronal ring, right?
That is awesome.
So we get this ring because of the way that the clouds are distributed. So it's just where it's kind of like a rainbow, but instead of going arched like that, you're actually getting the whole thing because of where the clouds are.
That's awesome.
That
is absolutely awesome. It is getting so eerie.
Now, you're also seeing, look at that. That is St. Joseph at 1:05 in the afternoon. And we're going to let you experience that for just a moment.
I'm going to want to look that way as it gets closer so we can see if we see the shadow.
Okay, this is Columbia. We are looking at a telescopic shot of Columbia.
Game time.
We are, game time, Ashley. We are so close to this. It's just incredible. Look at that.
Yeah, if you remember back, I can't remember if it was Oregon or, I think it was Oregon or Idaho Falls, where it was almost like a sporting event. I'm just wondering what the reaction is going to be here on the roof of the Broadway Hotel for us.
Right. Well, I know I'm excited. Again, this is the second time I've gotten chills. I'm a little embarrassed to say that, but why not? This is so rare, right?
I think everybody's having chills.
Even look at the shadows, once again, like you were talking about, Dr. Speck. I know it looks a little normal. There's something, I'm looking for the snakes.
Here we go.
Okay. Yeah. Wow.
And again, if you're just now tuning in, this is a live look. Well, yeah, and it's completely dark in St. Joseph, Missouri right now. Complete totality.
And you can see now that we just have a sliver of the sun.
This is St. Joseph now. Completely dark.
Okay, we see this in the transition. It's hard for them to, they have to re-rack the cameras in order to get this. You know, it's so far away, it's so easy to lose the shot that you're trying to get. Because it's
and then the statue's slowly going to come back to light for us, literally.
It is. It reminds me of a little bit. Have you ever been in the eye of a hurricane? When a hurricane moves across land, there's this peace and quiet in the middle. It's the eye. And you think it's over. Of course, the destruction's still coming from the other side. But it looks a little like this sometimes in the eye.
You're still looking at St. Joe, Missouri. They're in totality right now.
And we are going to get our cameras set on our sun, and we're going to show you totality right after this.
Live from the path of totality, you're watching Eclipse 2017.
Everyone, welcome back. We are here live in Columbia, Missouri. We're going to show you a look of the Pony Express in St. Joe, Missouri. They just went through totality. And, oh my gosh, are you seeing that?
This is amazing.
We're about a minute, less than a minute from totality.
And this is incredible because when you think about this, this is a live shot of where we are right now. And all the people looking up with their glasses. We even have somebody over there with a welding
Oh my
lens.
goodness.
And this is it. We're getting so close to totality. Dr. Speck, what are you seeing now?
So I can see just a very thin sliver of the sun left. And what happens is, as that moves into place, the sun almost disappears, but it has mountains and valleys. So there's actually going to be a valley that still lets light in, and we'll get the diamond ring. And that's the last thing you see before totality. Here it comes.
Here comes game time.
Almost there. We're not quite there yet.
Not quite, but getting close.
It's almost there. It's almost there.
My goodness.
You guys can hear those cheers in the background.
This is fantastic.
But it's still there.
Folks, I hope you're enjoying this, but if you are taking pictures, there we are.
There it goes.
Okay, so diamond ring. Bailey
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Look at that corona. There's the hole in the sky, and you can see like the fuzzy white stuff. That's the corona.
Gosh.
And this is the only time we can see that. And now just soak it in.
Oh, wow.
I might cry. That is amazing. So even though it's a little hazy, it's still very clear that you can see it. If you still have your glasses on, take them off now.
Take your glasses off. This
You
is
can
gorgeous.
see this. It's only about as bright as the full moon. It's not going to hurt your eyes. And it looks like a hole in the sky with this amazing, shimmering, glowing white light around it.
The sky is gorgeous.
The sky is this beautiful color, but look at the horizon.
Oh.
Look at the colors in the horizon, because it looks like we've got sunset colors, but all the way around in all directions.
All the lights have turned on in downtown.
But it doesn't, even though there are lights on, they're low down, so they don't spoil it. You can still see that amazing corona. Now, it's a little too hazy to see the stars right now, but if you look over,
right there.
that's actually Venus. So Venus is one of the brightest things in the sky, so it comes out first. So the thing that looks like a star off to the right of the,
We're gonna show you.
sun, that is Venus. We should also have Jupiter off towards the other side, but that might be too low down.
And then really quickly, in your screen right now, you can see we're live from the roof, the Broadway Hotel, and Cosmo Park. Dr. Speck, go on.
So we have this. We have this lovely dark color.
When it's time to put on the shades again, is that what you're saying?
Oh yes, I can do that.
Okay.
Okay, so we've got these.
Sorry, you
these
guys.
lovely.
We have some folks over here talking to us.
I understand. Hi guys. Sorry, I'm all excited. and I'm not really sure what else to tell you because it's just phenomenal.
We're going to get the diamond ring again, right?
We are going to get it. We have 2.5 minutes. From this spot, it's 2 minutes, 35 seconds from when we hit totality. And then what's going to happen is there'll be another valley, and that'll be where the sun starts to come through. And it'll be really obvious because it becomes very bright. And that's when we need to put our glasses back on. But for now, just take it all in. There's these beautiful sunset colors all around. It's just clear enough, even though we have some cirrus up there, it's still clear enough for us to see. It's a lovely temperature right now. Oh, you can see some red bits up on the, so that is actually flares and prominences that you can see. And
oh my goodness.
It's gonna, there we go. Diamond ring!
Holy smokes.
That is gorgeous. There we go.
And we're back in partial phase. I hope that was as good for you as it was for me.
I'm having a cigarette. I don't even smoke.
Oh, wow. So is it a safe time to put your glasses back on?
You need your glasses on now, anytime now. Sorry?
How about prominence?
Talk about prominence, yeah.
Do you have, everybody else here is good to go? Did you need to do something over there? I'm sorry.
I'm going to have more interviews from other places, so anytime you want me to stay, I can.
We totally hogged our time away from people here, so we thank you again quite a bit for that. And I think Lindsay Burning is at Cosmo Park, and we're going to touch base with her now and see what's going on. I just looked at the sun. Don't do that.
Well, Joey and Ashley, we are live at Cosmo Park where totality just ended just minutes ago. Now, when it started, it was just such a neat experience. Everybody's just looking up at the sky. As you can see, people are still watching it come back right now. But everybody cheered. The cicadas actually started making sounds, and now they're kind of dying down now that the sun came out. But just such a neat experience here. Now, Mike Griggs, the Parks and Rec director, said that all 2,000 parking spots are full, so we do know that thousands of people are here watching the eclipse. But for now, I'm just going to send it back to you guys.
All right, and we are going to take another look at one of the other areas where people are gathering to enjoy Eclipse 2017, and that's Gans Creek Recreation Area.
Yeah, and we'll check back in with our crews here in just a minute. Stick with us.
Unless you go somewhere where the total solar eclipse happens, we have just shared a moment together that will not happen again in our lifetimes. A total solar eclipse.
At least right here.
Missouri, exactly. At least right here.
Now you can go to Carbondale, Illinois, where they get it both times, then in the Boot Heel in 2024. Right. But yeah, that was something. That was something I've never experienced before. That was pretty cool.
It was pretty good.
Yeah, so now we're going to send things out to ABC 17's Joe McLean. He's joining us live at Gans Creek. Joe, what's going on where you are?
Well, I just saw the most spectacular thing I probably have ever seen, like everybody here at Gans Creek Recreational Area. There's a lot of amateur astronomers out here. A lot of telescopes like this one out of Fort Worth, Texas. I've met people from all over the Midwest and all over the United States who have come in here. And I want to bring in my friend Morgan Barr, who actually captured a really cool photo on this screen from this telescope I just showed you. That's what we just saw a few minutes ago. Morgan, what did you think of that? What you saw?
It was very cool.
It was incredible. Ever seen anything like that before?
No.
No. All right. Well, thanks for showing us that, and we'll send it back to you, Joey and Ashley, in Columbia.
All right, Joe, thanks so much. So as you're hearing from even the younger generations, they know how awesome this is.
Yeah, this is something that's really rare, and a lot of folks got to enjoy it in Jefferson City as well. That's where ABC 17's Lucas Geisler is. And Lucas, what was the reaction there?
Yeah, what had been a party-like atmosphere for several hours here in Jefferson City became eerily quiet for a few minutes out here. The South Capitol lawn filled with people out here watching this total solar eclipse. I took a walk through the crowd during totality just to hear some reactions. It was very exciting. A lot of people were excited to experience this. Hearing people sort of older in their 50s and 60s exclaim as if they were children, seeing something exciting for the first time. It was a very interesting experience to be out there. And now, of course, a lot of people are still milling around here, but certainly they will be hitting the road soon. We've seen people from all over the country here in Jefferson City, and we'll be monitoring those conditions here. Reporting live in Jefferson City, Lucas Geisler for ABC 17 News.
Lucas, hey, thank you. You know, it does make you feel like a child. I had a childlike wonder looking at this. Even though I've been talking about it for a year, we've all studied it, but seeing it actually happen, feeling it happen, was just incredible.
Even the atmosphere up here on the roof with everyone just screaming and chanting, I mean, that was just the whole atmosphere, not only, you know, what we saw, but everyone around. It was
right. Now we have a lot of folks who will be wanting to leave mid-Missouri and go home, right?
Right now. So we're going to head out to ABC 17, Sarah Massler-Donar. She's checking in on all of the traffic for us. Sarah, what's going on the roads?
Hey there, guys. I'm still kind of coming down from my Eclipse high here, overwhelming, but I'm looking at traffic. What I've got right here, this is Highway 169 South in St. Joseph. Look at that. Everyone's merging on. They are heading out of here, and so that might be what we're going to see in mid-Missouri coming up. I've been looking at Madras, Oregon. Yeah, check that out. That is the traffic right this second. I'm going to switch over. This is Madras right now. All of this red, that's traffic. So that is what, look at these cameras from Madras here. I've been looking at, this is an intersection in Madras right now. Let's hope that we are not going to see that in Columbia or Jeff City or Fulton and Boonville. But if we do, y'all need to be watching out for that. We don't want to have any traffic collisions today. We want to make sure that we are staying safe on the roads. But if this kind of thing is what we're going to be seeing here in Mid-Mo, like I said, we were seeing that in St. Joseph. If this, there we go. This is what we're seeing right now. So, and they actually had some rain in St. Joseph. You can see there's it's a little bit wet there. But I wonder if I can, okay, so right now, pull it up. I can expand this here. This is a pretty nifty MoDOT camera app that I got going on here. But if it, yep, this is St. Charles Road right now on I-70. So it's looking clear right now, but we don't know how it's going to change come the next 20, 25 minutes now that we've seen that epic totality, that epic celestial event there. Let's see what else we have. It's kind of hard to get these to refresh for us here, but I'm really just mainly watching the St. Joseph Highway 169 right here. Again, stay safe out there. We want to make sure everybody gets home safely after this awesome event. And let's go back to this Madras. I just can't get over this here. And we'll zoom out a little bit. So I'm zooming out. You can still see all the red in Madras. We can actually move over here as soon as it refreshes. Okay, Salem is, I'm going to zoom in on Salem. Look at that. Salem, Oregon. Also, all that red. People just trying to get out after, and that was, we had that totality a while ago there in Oregon, and this traffic is still backed up. So we've been lucky in mid-Missouri. You guys have been able to get around pretty well, but I don't know if we're going to be seeing those kind of, that kind of stuff going on. There is, though, we got to tell you, though, whoops, there is a road closure here on WW. We were hearing some reports of WW in both directions in Callaway County being closed down due to a police emergency. That started about 40 minutes ago, so that could be clear at this point, hopefully. But if you are traveling back into Callaway County, Highway WW, that's what you got to know about that being closed there. But right now, this MoDOT map, it's green, it's beautiful. We love to see that. So I will continue monitoring this, and as we continue our coverage for the next half an hour, I will let you know what I'm seeing for traffic, and you can let your family and friends know.
All right, Sarah, thanks so much. And not only are we following these traffic issues, it's obviously going to happen when everybody's trying to get out of mid-Missouri. We're also doing social media. Alyssa Toomey's next with that after the break.
Live from the path of totality, you're watching Eclipse 2017.
All right, this is a look at South Carolina, the final state to see totality, and then she just drifts on it off into the Atlantic.
As if she was never even here.
Right, and won't be back around this neck of the woods for quite some time.
Now,
but one thing that's been going nuts, social media.
Oh my gosh. It's insane right now. And we're going to have ABC 17's Alyssa Toomey. She's been monitoring this for us all day long. Alyssa, what's the latest on social media?
Yeah, you guys, insane is really the right word to describe this. I want to show you just kind of a time lapse of what I put together. So I told you guys about the Facebook Live map that I'm using, and it basically, all of these little blue dots are all Facebook Live. So I took this Facebook Live right around the time of totality in Madras, Oregon. You can see just how much the West Coast is blowing up there with the Facebook Lives. And then not more than probably about 10 minutes later, let's see if I can get this pulled up for you guys. It's a little sluggish down here. I apologize. Once this pulls up, all of those little blue dots, there we go, essentially go away on the West Coast. That was just after totality on the West Coast. So you can see how the path of totality is literally being seen across social media. This isn't only a once-in-a-lifetime experience for all of us watching it, but it's a once-in-a-lifetime experience on social media because we've never had this. And then let me show you one last image on social media that I took here as well. Once again, this is a little sluggish. It takes a little bit of time to pull up. Once we get this, and you can just see, there we go. And this was right before we hit totality here in Columbia, Missouri. So you can see, or excuse me, this was right after totality in Columbia, Missouri. So you can see how it's kind of starting to taper off in the Midwest there and how things are really starting to blow up along that path of totality over into North Carolina, over into that area where we are going to be watching live as well. I want to show you one more. This is another application that I've been using. This is called Banjo, and you can kind of see where the hot spots are on social media if you search a certain area. And this is Idaho Falls, and I searched Idaho Falls and then took a screen grab of this just as it was hitting totality in Idaho Falls. So you can see in a small place like that, all these different people coming in and all of them talking about their social media experience. So I keep telling you guys on our live stream to go to eclipselivestream.com, but there is a little red button on there where you can send us photos. So we are reaching out to some people to ask if we have permission to send your photos, but we really want you to post photos there. And then that way I can get all of those together and I can have some really cool stuff that we've seen from Columbia here. So I'm going to keep monitoring all of these applications. I'm going to take another look at the Facebook Live application, and then I'm going to try to pull up some tweets for you guys as well. I have kind of a cool application that can organize the tweets and show you some different stuff. We have reporters tweeting here. We've had reporters tweeting on the West Coast, all across the country. So lots of cool experiences going on here. Ashley and Joey, I cannot wait to show you more.
We're looking forward to that. I can't wait to see it.
All right, Alyssa, thanks so much. And then another thing we haven't really checked in with yet until now, ABC 17's Deborah Kendrick is at the Boonville Airport checking in on things there.
Which was closed for this event, from what I understand. Deborah?
Ashley and Joey, you know, it was a great experience to see. It was actually kind of scary just for a second there because the clouds were covering over the sun. So a lot of people in the area were nervous that they weren't going to see it. But just at the right time, we were able to see that total eclipse happen. People from Hawaii, New Hampshire were all here to experience it. I was speaking with one couple that has been planning this for about 8 years. So, of course, they were glad to see it. But right now, everyone's starting to clear out. It's half the crowd is already left. We got some airplanes here that are waiting to take off to go ahead and go to their destinations like Texas. But of course, it was something that a lot of people, you can just see behind me, people are starting to head out. And of course, we will continue to cover this. Reporting live here in Boonville, Deborah Kendrick, ABC 17 News.
All right, Deb, thanks so much for that.
It has gotten so much cooler. There's a nice little breeze going on. A little bit of overcloud. I don't think people care about the clouds at this moment.
It's a lot better than it was at 11 o'clock this morning. It was miserable up here on the roof. So we're going to head to ABC 17 Storm Track Chief Meteorologist Sharon Ray. Sharon, what's the weather looking like?
Well, as we head toward Greenville, South Carolina, the next path of totality, we are going to see, if you can advance that for me, Bridget, we are going to see the cloud cover becoming mostly cloudy. In fact, partly to mostly cloudy in Greenville. Unfortunately, areas southeast of us are going to have some clouds to deal with and temperatures dropping into the upper 70s to near 80 degrees. So we are going to have fair visibility. Some clouds, more clouds than clear sky, but you should be able to see some of the eclipse as we head toward Greenville.
All right, 1:38 is when it's supposed to hit totality right now. We're looking at the telescope view of the scene now.
They're expecting to get into totality.
There we go. About 138 is when totality hits there. It's still such a beautiful shot, isn't it?
Yeah, it's crazy that, I mean, they're seeing exactly what we just saw not even 30 minutes ago.
And what made this crowd squeal and scream, I heard a few howls as well.
It sounded a lot like a basketball game to me. When your team makes that bucket.
And we're especially grateful again to astrophysicist Dr. Angela Speck.
Oh, and you saw her face. She was in awe. She's been waiting for this.
She's been waiting. She's been in high demand. Everybody wanted her to talk them through, and she spent that time with us, and we can't thank her enough to share her insight and her knowledge of that stuff. She's been so great with us.
And you know, in Greenville right now, they're seeing that sliver we were talking about before. That's when the adrenaline really starts to pump.
And it seems like right when that final sliver goes away, people just lose it.
Yeah, we just heard a minute to totality in South Carolina.
I think this is WSPA, a station there.
And we know what they're feeling, too, because it started to get really eerie out, and the temperature dropped, that wind picked up.
It was like nothing I've ever experienced, obviously, and I've been around some tornadoes where the sky looks really strange. A lot of people in the Midwest have seen that, and I've been through some hurricanes as well, and that you get some strange weather then, but this was still nothing quite like that.
No, the atmosphere all around, it was like a sunset, only it was not just on one side, it was all around you. It was amazing.
Right. And I think we are going into totality here in South Carolina. Now, think about this. Imagine being on a boat out in the Atlantic, and this thing's coming your way.
Oh, Joey, I'd freak out. I'd have a panic attack. I wouldn't be here anymore. That would be kind of eerie.
I hope they're listening to the radio and are well aware of what's coming, because if not, it's going to probably scare them quite a bit.
I mean, everybody's pretty well talked about this, for a long time now, so mostly everyone should know.
You would think. I know that I think the phrase ad nauseum has been used a few times with the amount of times I've talked about it and that we've covered at the station, but there's a lot to talk about, and so many people had no idea. They said they've seen one before, but they really hadn't experienced quite that, the totality.
Not like this. No. This is totally different. People drove, what'd you say? You talked to somebody from Australia? I was talking to you from Tulsa, Michigan.
Right.
Everybody just coming here.
I have two people from California who came out here, and again, we're looking at totality. It looks like nothing practically because you just can't see it. Reminds me of the Eclipse stamps with the thermochromic ink on it that changes with your body temperature. Kind of works like an old mood ring. I don't know if you remember those.
Of course I do.
Oh, you remember mood rings?
Of course I do. That was my generation.
Okay.
I actually took those seriously, too.
The mood rings? Well, and the stamps are wonderful. My granddad bought a panel of them as well, and he was talking about it. And this is a little bit what that stamp looks like until you touch it. And then you see the moon.
And again, what you're looking at right now, that is Greenville, South Carolina. That's what we just saw less than 30 minutes ago.
Right here live in mid-Missouri. And now, again, it's hard to compete, but this is a good example of how it affects your eyes. This is why you need those glasses. You see all the light that just washed out there?
And
that can get into your eyes, and because it's dark and we're in totality, your eyes are dilated. And that causes that damage to get in so quickly. That's why it's so tricky to watch out for that stuff.
I'll tell you what, my adrenaline, I had a lot of it, sports and stuff like that. Your adrenaline starts pumping and everything. Being on air, that gave me an adrenaline rush. Yeah. And I am coming down off of it, and I'm sure that's what a lot of other people are experiencing too.
Well, and we were up and at 'em before dark ended. We were still out in the dark this morning. So I think tonight at 9 on Fox 22 KQFX and at 10, you guys are going to see us in rare form.
Or not so much rare form. I can't promise you anything.
Look at that. Just in totality. You can't help but just love that.
And again, here in the Midwest, we're not going to see this again until 2024. If you just stay in mid-Missouri, you're not going to see anything like this again. Now, if you want to do a little quick jump over to Carbondale, Illinois in 2024.
Right. Look at that. There's the diamond ring. And again, there might be a little bit of a delay there. We're going to check in with the Office of Emergency Management here in Boone County, where we are stationed, right after this.
Keep watching for more live coverage of Eclipse 2017.
And we're going to show you again more live feeds from Greenville, South Carolina. They just went through totality, something Mid-Missouri saw less than an hour ago.
And, you know, so far we haven't seen too many problems. We'll give a full wrap of those later on ABC 17 News. But, you know, when I was talking to Terry Castle about it, he's the director of Boone County Emergency Management, he, again, just said he wanted to be prepared. He'd rather everybody be prepared and nothing happen than people not be thinking about it, and then all of a sudden they can't get medicine, they can't get food, they can't get to and from where they need to go in an emergency. So that was what he really wanted to put out there, and he just wanted to alert everybody but not alarm them.
Right. We're going to check in with ABC 17's Kirsty Crawford for more on this. Kirsty.
Hi, Ashley and Joey. Yes, I have actually been talking with Terry Castle this whole time, and he's been monitoring, him and his team have been monitoring the MoDOT traffic cameras just like we have back at the station. They actually are surprised that a lot of the traffic has been very calm. They're saying that they do expect the traffic to pick up once after the totality was over, which was a couple of minutes ago. So they do expect the traffic to pick up, and they have noticed that some of the traffic has picked up on those MoDOT traffic cameras since totality was over. And as far as calls for service, they say that it's actually been a fairly normal Monday to them. They haven't seen a lot. They actually say that it's been a less than average call for the number of calls for service as far as how many they've gotten today. So they are expecting, though, like I said, for it to start picking up, not necessarily for calls for service, but for that traffic. And they do want people to prepare for traffic once they start leaving the areas that they were watching the eclipse at. So they still want people to be careful while they're driving, never pull over. They say that they did actually, while I was out there, while totality, they came out themselves to watch it in and out to see the experience or get that experience for themselves. And I saw a couple, they have some personnel from different fire protection districts and EMS here to monitor the situations, but so far they haven't had to really do anything out of the ordinary. Today, they're just saying it's been a normal Monday. So I'll keep checking back in with them, and I'll give you another report tonight about how it all turned out for them. Reporting live at the Office of Emergency Management in Boone County, Kirsty Crawford, ABC 17 News.
All right, Kirsty, thanks so much.
And that's the kind of report we want. Not a whole lot of action going on. We like to hear that. Also, we're going to check in with ABC 17's Kelsey Kerwin, who is joining us live in the newsroom. And Kelsey, what's happening there?
All right, Joey and Ashley, everyone is celebrating this eclipse a little bit differently today. And for singer Bonnie Tyler, that means on a cruise performing for fans. And you may know her from her song Total Eclipse of the Heart, and as you might imagine, it is the perfect theme song for today. And she's not trying to deny that. She's celebrating, like I said, on a cruise, performing that song for her fans today. However, she already did give a little preview of it to Good Morning America this morning, so go ahead and take a listen.
I need you more than ever, and if you only hold me tight, we'll be holding on forever.
That song was released in 1983, but as you might imagine, it is getting some renewed love today. I took a look at the iTunes charts and found that it's actually trending right now. Let me get iTunes up here. And it's actually number 23 right now on the charts on iTunes. Like I said, getting that renewed love. And as I said, it's a good theme song for today, and a lot of people are appreciating it. Joey and Ashley, back to you.
All right, Kelsey, thanks. Joey, there you go. You've got your, he was talking about earlier being in the middle, of the ocean when something like this happens. There you have it.
Right, and we've been hearing a lot about the music that people are playing. Of course, Bonnie Tyler's Total Eclipse of the Heart is that's the big one that everybody's playing. But I've heard Black Hole Sun, and another one, that New Moon on Monday by Duran Duran, came out in 1984. And it takes a new moon in order to make this happen. So we have a new moon, and it is Monday.
And then back here in mid-Missouri, we're going to head out to ABC 17's Taylor Petrus, who's at the Mizzou South Farm, the research farm.
Right.
Taylor, what do you have for us?
Yeah, Ashley, Joey, it was quite an experience here at the MU South Research Forum. When totality came, you heard the cicadas out here, as I'm sure everyone heard as well who was experiencing totality. That's what the researchers here were expecting. Other things they were looking for, chickens and roosters. About 10 minutes before totality, the rooster actually did crow, and they said that's to signify that it's time to go back inside the coop there. So the rooster did crow as well. They said when it gets dark out, that's when fish usually start to bite and feed. So they were fishing at the pond here, and they said, right before totality again, a fish broke the line of someone who was fishing there. So the fish were hungry. They thought it was time to eat. I haven't been able to check in on what the horses did. I think they're going over to check them out now, but they were expecting the horses to get a little excited as the sun went down and as it got a little cooler out as well. So the MU Research Farm here, they're going to study exactly what happened. They were also looking at plants. They video recorded all of this. And so they're actually looking forward to the next solar eclipse, which is in 2024. The director here says he just learned about it a few days ago, but he's already planning for it.
We're going to have a whole different set of circumstances. It's not going to be as hot. We're going to have shorter days, and the part of the day is going to be different. So who knows? Plants might respond different then.
So they said they were going to take their results from today. They're hoping to make educational videos out of what they captured here during the eclipse. Reporting live in Columbia, Taylor Petrus, ABC 17 News.
Taylor, thanks. And Joey, that's what I've been talking about the whole time. I'm very interested to see how the animals have reacted to this.
Yeah, that's going to be a fascinating thing because, they notice something, but it's just hard to understand exactly what they're thinking. It's easy to understand what people are thinking on social media because, as you well know, people are not shy about using social media. And ABC 17's Alyssa Toomey has been monitoring all that. And Alyssa, what's the craziest thing you've seen so far, if you can say it on television?
No, I've been seeing some really, really awesome things here on social media. I want to pull up a couple of tweets that I've been seeing. Twitter is blowing up, as you can imagine. And this tweet that I have on my screen right now, this is from the Great American Eclipse, but this is actually the corona that you can see in Casper, Wyoming. So how cool is that? If you didn't get to see the corona, if you weren't outside during the eclipse experience, Great American Eclipse has some awesome images for you. And then I keep telling you guys all day that I was going to show you the photos that we have on our website. This is on eclipselivestream.com. Here's one in Idaho Falls from Emma. Let's see if we can get another one pulled up here. Here is another one in Idaho Falls. Look at how cool that is. And then last quick thing I want to show you, there is a tweet there from ABC 17's Ashley Strohmeyer. They are at the roof, and Ashley, going to send things right back to you. A cool video you took there.
All right, Alyssa, thanks so much. And we're going to be back here, of course, where we've got a little under 10 minutes left in our coverage, our Eclipse 2017 coverage. Be sure to stick around.
Live from the path of totality, you're watching Eclipse 2017.
Everyone, welcome back. We are continuing our coverage of the 2017 total solar eclipse. Now we're talking traffic afterwards.
Yep. Everybody wanting to get out of here now that totality has happened. And actually, we still have a partial eclipse going on right now. If you have your glasses, take another look at it. It's going to be lasting for a little bit longer, but a lot of people are trying to get out of town. A lot of people will remain here. I don't want to get too sappy, but I'm glad that you chose to join us for this broadcast and that we shared this together because this is something that, once again, we've now seen it. We've been there. We can say, I was there for totality.
Right, and you got to experience the emotion that we felt with Dr. Speck as it was all happening. And then we were talking about traffic. You know, the studio's telling us there's not a lot of traffic right now, shockingly enough.
Yeah,
so.
But, you know, I hope you got some good pictures. I hope you're happy with them. To us, you can easily do that at news@kmiz.com or online, and we'll take some good-looking shots of the eclipse that we would love to have from you. And we'll have the best shots coming up, the best shots of the eclipse. I know we were talking about it more than taking pictures as well.
Hey, well, actually, people said don't take pictures. Enjoy the moment.
We're so glad you joined us, and we hope to see you later on tonight for ABC 17 News at 5, 6, 6:30, 9, and 10.